Hello everyone, it's Brightmaster here, and today I have an extremely epic LEGO set to review. This is the LEGO Star Wars 7662 Trade Federation MTT from 2007. This set comes with 1,330 pieces, was rated for ages 9 to 14, and cost you only $100 back when it was in stores. Now, this is definitely my favorite set from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and it is one of my largest Star Wars sets, and definitely one of my favorites that I do own. And yeah, this is a great set, and I have to say, I'm most likely only going to say good things about this. So now we'll look at the minifigures to be the first part of the review. Okay, so here are all of the minifigures, and this took me a long time to set all these droids up. There are 20 droids that come in this set, 16 regular battle droids, 2 pilots, and 2 security battle droids, as well as this really nice Destroyer Droid build, which is my personal favorite that LEGO has produced. So, to show you the minifigures, there's only 3 I actually need to show you, because they're all repeats, really. But that's great, actually, because you get an army of battle droids. So, yeah, this is the battle droids. Your standard droid minifigure. He has his nice blaster right here, and yeah, I think he's a great-looking minifigure. Looks very authentic, very accurate to the droid in the movie. And of course, he can fold up like this, and you can take his gun out, and you can either put it on the back of here on a stud, or put it on a rack later on, which I will show you, but that's what he looks like. So I'll put his gun back on and stand him back with the rest of the army. Right here is the battle droid pilot, and you can see he looks the exact same as the other one, except he has a blue torso piece instead of a beige one. And of course that symbolizes that he is a pilot. And there are 2 of them. One pilot's the speeder and one pilot's the actual MTT vehicle. Plus, there are also 2 security battle droids here as well, which are the exact same as the last one, except it has a maroon-colored torso instead of a beige or a blue one. So overall, I think those are some nice minifigures. Now, as for this Destroyer Droid, I know some people prefer the original one, and I think some people prefer the newer ones, but I have to say this one is my favorite because I like how the guns are positioned. The new ones, the guns are positioned wrong, and it doesn't have like this front piece that's there on them, and I think it looks great. I know it's a bit big, but it's not that big that it just looks ridiculous. I think it looks nice though. And of course you can position the arms like this, and you can move the arms here. You have to be careful because this is built like this, and it's somewhat fragile, but it's not that bad really. And it has some nice copper pieces, if you've noticed, that are quite rare, and I don't think I've had that color before, and if I did, definitely not those pieces. So overall, I think the minifigures are really nice, and I'm so happy that you get such a big army of them. I think the newer one doesn't come with, I think it maybe only comes with 6 droids or something like that, but yeah, 16 regular and 4 others, that's a great selection of minifigures. So here's the Droid Speeder. It looks quite nice, and it can be used for various things. And you can see that, of course, it can be piloted by one battle droid pilot, and he has no controls, which is kind of not that great, but I still think that it looks good for the most part. And you can see back here there's this area that makes it look incomplete, and there are these little, I'm not even sure what to call them, but they're interchangeable. I'll show you what I mean. So you can get this here, and by the way, they're all on 4x8 plates with these 1x1 stud pieces, and they can all be interchanged on this and in the other parts of the ship. So it tells you that you should use this one as a Radar Edition 2 guns, but if you want to, you can take that off and put down all the blasters to get your troops armed, or you can also put in some battle droids if you want to take them into battle, which is a pretty neat thing. And I think that's nice that it provides a lot of variation in this, but I do prefer how it looks like this. It just looks more complete. Looks like a regular speeder instead of something different. But that's what that looks like. And you can also get this section right here, which is another battle droid pilot, this is the seat for the MTT itself, and it has some control panels and some control sticks, and it's a nice seat as well. So I can imagine that if you're in a hangar bay for some larger ship, you can have him sit on here and basically use a crane or something to put him inside the MTT. So it's a pretty interesting thing, and I don't think they've done that before in any other MTTs. So yeah, I do appreciate that they did that. So to show you the MTT, I thought I'd do something a bit different and start from the back and go to the front so I could show you the rolling out feature in the end. So turning it around to the back, you can see it has some pretty nice detailing here on this back flap, and as you can see there is a hinge piece, so of course that means this can open. If you open it, you can see that it shows this very large cargo area. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get the speeder that I showed you before and just slide it on in there, and it fits quite well, and it's quite dark in there so you probably can't see it as well, but as you can see everything fits in. Then you just close it and really there you go. And if you turn it further to the side, you can see there's this other flap right here, and you can tell because it looks a bit different than the rest of the paneling, and of course you can fold that down, which is really nice, and I like how they use Technic pieces to make it more stable. And there you can see the speeder is inside there, and yeah, I think it's nice. And if you decide to put weapons or something there, you would be able to go ahead and take it out like this without having to open the other door, which I think is a nice idea. So you can get things out without pulling the entire speeder out. So that's nice, and of course it's that way on the other side as well. And moving along here, there is this one large panel piece that is a really large piece, and I've seen it used on the 2012 TIE Fighter, but I don't think I've had it in brown before. But you can lift it up like this, and again it is a bit dark inside, so I'm going to try to get my light to come over here so you can see what's inside a bit more. So you can see that there is a section right here, which is where you could put one of those little interchangeable pieces, and they advise you to put the blasters in there like this, so they all fit in the storage compartment quite well. And up here, there's this other panel which has a hinge on it, and you can open it like this, and unfortunately it does break because, I don't know why, but sometimes over time these pieces tend to get a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's the plastic they use, but they tend to break off and things like that, and this set is definitely a victim of that. And you can see up here there's a battle droid pilot in there, and there's this other feature up on the top in which you can open the cockpit section, which I think is nice, and they use these really large pieces, and they're curved, and I think that adds a really nice detail, and it almost feels like it's some sort of really neat and advanced mechanical feature that they use to open this, but it's really quite simple. As you can maybe see in there, it's just using a bunch of Technic pegs, but as you can see up there is what the pilot droid looks like when he's inside of his cockpit, and I think it looks quite nice in there. Like I said before, I really like the seat and the control panels that are in there, and you can close it up, and it also just tends to break, so that's probably the only bad thing about this set, is that, of course, you can close that. And moving here to the front, you can see that there are these really nice looking corner pieces which provide a really nice look for this vehicle. As you can see, it looks very accurate to what it was like in the movie, and it combines a use of dark gray, brown, and light gray, which I think is a good look for it. And as you can see that there are these two little rotating cannons down here, and of course they can turn and everything, and there's one on either side. That's what they look like, and they can position in any direction that you wish. And over here, it's basically the same as it is before, and just to show you something different on this side, and this is on both sides, but I just wanted to show you what something looks like on this side. they have these pieces right here, which are the same pieces that are used for cockpit windscreen pieces, especially at this time. And I think that they function really well as the tops of these cannons. And I love when they reuse pieces, and especially when they reuse them in a wise way. And yeah, I think that's a great idea. And as you can see, that this has some nice detail. They use some grill pieces. They round everything off well. And as well here at the bottom, if you can see, they use wheels to make this thing move, so everything doesn't break or scrape or anything like that, which I do appreciate. And it has a very strong Technic frame as well. So that's basically it for most of the functions of this. Now I'll show you the rolling out function, which is probably what you have all been waiting for. So for the function that you all have been waiting for, this is the droid rolling out function. And as you probably have seen, that there is a gear system right here, and as you can see, there are 2 black gears, and they make it quite thick so you can get a good grip on it. And all you do is turn it counterclockwise, so you just turn it, and you might hear a little bit of a squeak, but that's just the pieces. And there, all the droids roll out, and it looks really epic, and it looks exactly how it did in the film. And it's such a smooth way that they did that. It's basically just a gear, and there's a bunch of plates that have the grooves on the top. You might be able to see them a little bit right here. There's a very large amount of them. They run all along to the back of the vehicle, and they have the grooves, and they just run along the gear, and it just slides out really well. And of course, if you turn it clockwise, the droids go back in. And yeah, I'll have to close this manually, but that doesn't bother me at all. I think that looks quite nice. And of course, since it rolls, I can show you the mechanism a bit better. So that's what it looks like there. It's quite discreet and is not too big of a distraction. If you're rolling it around, you might not even see it if you're not looking at it really closely. But anyway, that's basically it for the Trade Federation MTT. So for my overall thoughts on the Trade Federation MTT, it's a great set and I would highly recommend you get it. Just like with the Destroyer Droid, it's better than the original and it's better than the most recent. So yeah, it's definitely the biggest as well. It's strange that they went from a larger model like this to a smaller model later on. I see that's a trend that's been occurring a lot with LEGO, especially even with the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter that they released quite recently, but this is the one that I would go ahead and try to get. And unfortunately, this is a really pricey set, and I would recommend that you pay $250 or less for it. I know that seems like, oh my goodness, that's so much money, but yeah, it's unfortunate that it's that much, and I guess people know that this is a really good set, and if you can and you want to wait it out and save for it over time, I would recommend that. I'd rather do that than rush and get the 2 other models, which I think are inferior to this one. So, yes, it's a great looking set. I got it in a Christmas haul, so I think that it's one of the best Star Wars sets that I have. So that's it for this, and I'll see you all later. Bye.